Hey guys, this is Carlos, your DIY plumbing guy. Today I want to help you out of a tough situation where you're trying to drain your hot water heater and no water is coming out. We're gonna go over 3 simple steps, the easiest to the hardest on how to get this water out. This is a very common issue you have when you're doing your yearly maintenance and you're flushing it out, or you need to replace the water heater and water will not come out. So let's get started. All you're gonna need for this, it's a flathead screwdriver and your channel locks. Alright, so step 1, simply open up the valve. The key is you keep everything the way it is, you keep the cold water on. Why is that important? It's because these factory installed valves have a very small opening inside them, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna use that cold water pressure to push any sediment that's sitting there and clear up so we can get water flowing. Alright, so we're gonna open up this valve. Before we do that, let's plug in our garden hose. Make sure it's pretty tight so you don't have any leaks. Now, be careful before you open this up, right? So this is hot water. So what you're gonna do is be very careful as you open this up. Okay, so what's happening here is we have cold water coming in, pushing gunk out of the valve into our bucket. That should clear up any debris that's in there. Okay, so here's some sediment we got from this valve. Again, if this clears up your valve and you can get continuous flow, you should be ready to drain and flush your heater. However, if you're still stuck, we're gonna go to step number 2. It is as simple as using zip ties. What we're trying to do here is trying to clear the blockage with the zip tie, and you can see here, you see how small of an opening there is in these valves, right? And what we're trying to do is use the zip tie to clear any blockage that's there. What's difficult about this is that hole, it's not in the same plane as the outlet. So the process here was gonna be, you insert a zip tie and you're trying to push any debris backwards to the tank, cleaning that passageway so water can flow. So this will push the sediment back into the tank. This would help you open up the airways and drain the tank. But remember, the sediment is still in the tank, so it's gonna keep coming back and clogging up this valve. We're gonna have to do this many times until we drain the tank. That's why I prefer step number 3, because it solves pretty much all these issues. And that is using a superior valve compared to the factory installed valve. This is simply 3 separate parts that you can find on any hardware store. And if you need help finding those, I'll put the link below so you can reference there. In addition to my favorite tape, Blue Monster. Now, before you replace the valve, make sure you shut off the cold water and make sure that you do not open any airways to create a vacuum inside the tank to keep the water in there as you replace the part. Word of caution here, this water may be really hot depending on your settings, so it's not a bad idea to have gloves on. Make sure you have a bucket nearby and also towels if necessary. In here, I'll show you the flow rate of how much water I got out of this heater. Have the part ready. In this case, I had it in my back pocket. Quickly swap that out, stick it in, make sure the valve is off, on the off position. Remember, you have 3 parts here, so you gotta take your time and make sure each one of that part is tight. I really like this setup. It only takes a few parts and a few minutes of your time to get it here. And as you know, the ball valve, it's much bigger opening and it has a clear path for any obstructions to come through, which is not the case on these valves. Now that we ensure that there's no blockage on these valves and we can drain the water heater, check out this video right here, which is gonna walk you step by step on how to drain and make sure you don't have a vacuum in your water heater and you can flush it out.